We are very excited to be here today to tell you about a set of collaboration tools that will likely change the way we all do business. The formal name of this tool is called Hopkins Apps, powered by Google, and for short, we've been calling it Hopkins Apps. Many students and teachers have been informally using this tool for about a year in its beta form, but our district technology integration team has been working closely with our technology support department this fall to improve the system for its formal launch on February 21st.
Today you will not need to take notes because we have compiled a website with all the important details that we will share with you today. You can just sit back and soak it all in.
During the first part of the presentation, we are going to tell you a lot about what Hopkins Apps is, and later on you will have the opportunity to log into the system and play a little bit.
In this district, we have heard a lot about 21st century skills recently. Admittedly, this term is a bit nebulous. It's hard to wrap your brain around what all this means. Hopkins Apps is just one set of tools that will support the development of the kinds of skills we are referring to when we use this term.
I think some of our older students believe that once they're done with high school, they'll never have to do a group project ever again. Well, they're wrong. They will need to continue to play well with others. The presentation behind us is not a PowerPoint. It was created by one of the Google tools that is a part of the Hopkins Apps suite. For the past month or so, at least 4 people have been logged into the same presentation, tweaking it, giving constructive criticism to each other. We have been working across 3 school buildings and from our homes on a single presentation to collaboratively bring you this message. Students can collaborate too. Picture a student sitting at a computer all alone when they're supposed to be working on a group project. When the teacher encourages the student to save the work for the absent partner who is homesick, the student could say, "We've been working on it together for the last half hour in Hopkins Apps. We're almost done." The tools you'll learn about today can help you to facilitate collaboration.
Tom Friedman calls technology a flattening agent that is leveling the global playing field. It used to be assumed that American children would have a privileged route and better opportunity because of our superpower status, but now students in other countries have access to the same information and the same technology. Our students and our children will have to compete with the world for their jobs. And remember, China has more honors kids than we have kids.
21st century skills and the technologies that support the development of these skills will help to prepare our students for jobs that haven't yet even been created.
We need to be models for our students by being students ourselves and learning to effectively use the technologies that will influence the future.
Does anyone remember these old Reese's commercials where someone was walking down the street gnawing on a gigantic chocolate bar and bumped into somebody inexplicably walking down the street eating peanut butter out of a crock with a spoon?
Well, 21st century skill building and the tools provided to our district by Google go along with each other kind of like that.
Google and 21st century skills, 2 tastes that taste great together. If you want to better model 21st century skills, use Hopkins Apps. If you want to help your students exercise their 21st century skills, use Hopkins Apps.
So, what is it? The Hopkins Apps powered by Google are a set of web-based tools or software. They can be accessed anywhere that open a wide range of possibilities in terms of incorporating 21st century skills in your classroom. If you're wondering how to incorporate these skills into your classroom, this is your toolbox. What is so exciting is that this set of tools removes the barriers that previously existed.
And they work. This suite, supported by Google, is mainstream, constantly being improved. They're intuitive, and best of all, they are free. There are entire states investing in teachers, not licenses and software. We are a part of a growing community of educators weaving apps into our curriculum.
Our students can begin using these tools today. The core tools are Sites, Docs, Video, Calendar, and mail. These tools give our students the ability to create, share, and learn in their way, anytime, and from any device. Because these tools are web-based, they live in the cloud and can be accessed anywhere.
If you're not sure what the cloud is, you've actually been living in it. The cloud with the beer in it is your personal cloud. Email, for instance, the last 10 years. Your fantasy scores are in the cloud. Your pictures are in the cloud, and you can even stream your movies from the cloud to your iPhone. Teachers have to juggle the professional and personal aspects of their lives, and today you officially have a cloud for each.
To be a little less nebulous and more specific to education, I have another analogy. Hopkins App is like a walled garden. Some will be concerned about the safety. This is particularly important for K-6. In this garden we call Hopkins Apps, we have a wall around it for better protection. But some others will be concerned with access and ability to connect with the outside. Hopkins Apps also has gates for older students to collaborate with the greater community. When in doubt, whatever happens in the garden stays in the garden unless you want to take it outside.
We've talked a lot about why this transition will be good for students. But how does it help us teachers as well? What sort of advantage does it give us during our daily use?
Students and staff can store documents in their Hopkins Apps account, and it is much easier to access from any computer with an internet connection.
Your students will now have a more reliable place to store the documents that they work on. They will no longer need a historically fragile flash drive to access a file on another computer, as long as they have an internet connection to get it from the cloud. Each student also has 7,000 megabytes or 7 gigabytes of space in their Hopkins Apps account, which is about 6,800 megabytes more than they could store on Stu. Thank you, Google.
It is conceivable that in the future there will be less to print because some students will choose to do their work in Hopkins Apps and share it with their teacher in our walled garden rather than making a printed copy.
Hopkins Apps has a pre-existing directory for every student and staff person. If you begin to type in the name of another person in our system, you can easily bring up that name in completion and share any document directly with another individual.
Each tool has its purpose. While the word processor in Google Docs has more basic functionality than Microsoft Word, it shines in its ability to promote collaboration. Gone are the days when we need to worry about compatibility when opening documents on a Mac that were created on a PC, or opening documents in Word when they were created in WordPerfect, or opening documents that were created in Word 2007 when they were created in Word 2004. With Hopkins Apps, it always opens.
Hopkins Apps works the same way on every browser and on any platform, Mac or PC. So, start thinking about the possibilities.
If you're unsure about how all this works and what will come next, don't panic. We built in time to practice and play, and you don't have to know everything all at once. You will reap the benefits of this great tool, and over time you'll realize how it will make you and your students more efficient and more effective.
Accessing your Hopkins Apps account is easy because you log in at Moodle. We call this single sign-on because you have only one username and password to access both Moodle and Hopkins Apps in the very same place. So let's get to it.